Thanks for joining us for this week's live stream from Firaxis Games. My name is Pete Murray, and I'm joined this week by Will Miller once again. Will being one of the two code lead designers of Civilization Beyond Earth.
Good to be here, Pete.
Thanks for coming on. We've had a pretty fun week so far. Yesterday we released the intro cinematic to Beyond Earth, and I think it's a really cool movie. And I brought Will on the show today because Will is one of probably the driving force behind it from the design perspective. And I thought we could have a conversation with Will about what went into that. So should we get started by showing the movie?
Sure.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and launch into it.
In the twilight of Earth's great civilizations, we were chosen. Some were selected for their skills, others for their strength, and some by luck. The great ships were the embodiment of each nation's ingenuity, courage, and faith. And they sent us to the stars in search of a new home. As we raced skyward, we carried aloft the hopes and dreams of those left behind. Our journey through deep space was long and quiet. And it is finally over. Now we look upon our new world for the first time. On these alien shores, our destiny waits. A new beginning for mankind.
So that's one of my favorite intro cinematics I've ever seen. I think it's one of the best we've done out of here. And you guys had a lot of to work to do with that because when you have a game like Civ, the intro has to set a lot of expectations about what the game actually is. So, in Civ 5, for example, going in, it was this very kind of epic scope of history sort of approach.
That's right. I really like the Civ 5 intro, particularly the old man telling his vision to the young man, and that kind of personal story coupled with this very epic setup for the game. And we wanted to do the same thing with this cinematic, but I think functionally it serves a little bit of a different purpose. You don't really need a lot of exposition in a historical Civ. We understand what history is. We just sort of have to get the player excited about the things that they'll do. This one needed to set the stage. It needed to set an emotional context for the game. It needed to set a historical context for the game. And I think it does both of those things really well. We show three distinct cultural approaches, I guess, or national approaches to the seeding. So we start in India with a young girl and her father as they go to the ship. We cut to Russia, that's massive industrial complex, and juxtaposed with these Orthodox priests blessing the astronauts or the cosmonauts in the spaceship. And finally, of course, in America, where it's mission control, right?
In Cape Canaveral.
In Cape Canaveral, Flight even has his vest on.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So those three viewpoints, I think, show the range of situations that are there on Earth, and we don't have to say anything about it. We don't have to explain it with words. We can just kind of show it. And of course, it delivers that bittersweet emotion, which would inevitably be associated with an event like the seeding. So I think it was very successful, and it was my privilege to get to work on it. I wrote it and helped with the production, but I think the real credit here goes to the fabulous folks at Waterproof who actually produced the thing. They're in Canada. They did a fantastic job.
They really did.
And Frida Wolf, our narrator for the game and the voice of the narrator in the movie.
I think one of the things that kind of gets me is because it is such a personal story, even in situations where it could go off and be about the objects or the mechanics of it. I mean, even when the Orthodox priest is walking up to the rocket ship, you have that moment where you suddenly realize there are people on the inside of the ship too, and that's the reason why he's there. I mean, that kind of a connection is really, really strong.
Yeah, it was. We always sort of wanted to pull back on traditional imagery of spaceflight. Like
Right.
we showed the ships, but they're always off in the distance.
Yeah.
It's not the hardware, it's not the launch that's important, it's the people. So in Cape Canaveral, it's the people's reaction to the ships leaving.
Yeah, the guy turns around and
the
says,
guy
"Yeah,
turns
good
around.
job."
Right. In India, it's the father and the daughter, and in Russia, it's the priest and the cosmonaut. So it's always about the people, and that I think is fundamentally what the game is about. It's a game about your civilization as a whole, but also about the humanity of it, and that's part of the thing that we needed to convey with the cinematic.
I think you guys did a great job with it. There were a lot of really cool details that you guys built into the cinematic itself. So little nods to different things.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff. And again, this is kind of ambient storytelling or visual storytelling. Instead of describing all of these things, we kind of drop little hints in there to give you context. But there are a couple details in there that are really just Easter eggs or just attention to detail. One of my favorites is the Orthodox priest. And again, credit here goes to Waterproof. These guys researched meticulously what an Eastern Orthodox priest actually looks like.
Right.
All the way down to the cross that he holds, and they even his medallion is a Saint Christopher medallion, which is the patron saint of the traveler.
Right.
And they actually painted their own version of Saint Christopher. I think you could only see this in the 4K stills. And things like that. Like you would never know.
Right.
But they did some really marvelous detail work. Also, the mission symbol in Mission Control is pretty cool. Beyond Chiron.
Beyond Chiron. Yeah, I like that. That's a nice little nod right
Yeah.
there. But there's other stuff too. I mean, there's the Kavithan Protectorate logo on the side of the truck at the beginning there. And what I like is it kind of it bookmarks the trailer that we showed when the game was announced. So that again, there were little elements to that as well. The Brasilia logo on the ship that's taking off from Rio. The spacecraft in the interstellar spaceship in the dock is the same one that we show in this trailer.
Which
too.
is also the same, or very close to the spaceship from Civ 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of cool throwback.
It's cool to see that, and it's nice that there's that continuity there. So,
Well, thank you. It's been really cool to see people's reactions to it. A lot of people said, "Oh, it was so bleak," and others say, "Oh, it was really aspirational," and like that's exactly what we want. We want to convey both of those things: the desperation and the hope and the ambition and all of that kind of wrapped into one idea. And in 3 minutes, that's tough to do, and I think we pulled it off.
Yeah, I think you guys did great. When this was being developed, Waterproof would regularly show us updates of how it was going, and these start out very simple. They're gray boxes, they're stubbed in animations and things like that. And I remember intentionally not wanting to see the dailies as it came together, and then one day it was a case of, oh, the final cut's in, do you want to take a look at it? He says goodbye to his daughter, and she goes off. And yeah, it was really good.
It's interesting that I've seen people speculate that the daughter may be Kavitha. game.
Okay.
So it's the same voice actress, and it's intended to be the same, to be the narrator, which I think is kind of an interesting,
That's a cool way to do
detail.
it. Yeah. Well, since we have you on the show, for the last 2 episodes, we've been doing a Let's Play with Brasilia. And
I've heard about this.
yeah. So, of course, the way to get yourself really messed up in Civ is to announce publicly that you're going to play a game from start to finish. And then you end up in a situation like what I'm about to show you on air, in the hopes that bringing expert opinions in will help me out on this. So we're going to go ahead and jump in.
Make no promises, Pete. We'll see what kind of hole you've dug for yourself.
Oh, it's a deep hole. It's a lovely hole. I'm going to call it a bore hole, all the way to the mantle of the planet. I'm going to turn off my tile yields. I was actually looking at this save earlier today. So we're playing as Brasilia. I thought at the beginning of the game I was going to be able to pursue some kind of a domination victory. And then I got into the game and I discovered I was, my landing site is right on this coast here. I was essentially dropped into wild lands, more or less. There were 2 alien nests of my first city. I prioritized getting another city set up and underway, and managed to get that done by maybe turn 50 or so. And then this previous live stream, I tried clearing out the nests. What I succeeded, really angry at me. So the situation is right now in Cittadella, this is our capital, that is currently trying to get our spy agency up and running. We're going to drop back here. We have a new city set up, Santo Adrião, that is in a little bit better position to get access to some resources. If there's anything I have a lot of, it's Xenomass. There's a fair amount of it throughout this area here. Geopolitically, there are some problems going on, namely, the Slavic Federation has dropped right next door, and they are right next to the ARC. So this is clearly going to boil over into some kind of war fairly soon. We've got People's African Union has started to expand out a little bit here. Vanguard, this is ARC's second city, is planted. We saw that about 10, 15 turns ago. Somewhere around here, I've got an explorer who's, he's getting ready to get set back up again. I do have one station I can trade with, Shackleton, right here. Shackleton actually has some pretty good yields, culture production, and science. The problem with that is there were intervening alien nests, and that has been eating trade units, despite my best efforts to sneak around that when it hasn't been looking. And other than that, I've got Elodie off in a corner. I've got the Kavithan Protectorate over here. The Australians are down here. There's Fort Barca. Yeah, I think maybe so on the last turn, the aliens ended up in the orange aggression level. I'll probably try to pull back to the protection of my own ultrasonic fences, focus on building up for a little bit. We've got a nice resource area up here, the problem being that it is fairly boxed in terms of canyons. There are 2 more nests up here with aggressive aliens. That doesn't sound like such a great opportunity. So any advice you can offer, I would be more than happy to take you up on.
Well, your expansion has hurt your health quite a bit.
Yeah.
It looks like you're at -4 health.
That's right.
And that's gonna ding your science and culture. So probably doing something about that would be a good idea. Building the spy agencies is a great idea, particularly if you're hemmed in. In situations like this where you can't expand in the early game or the mid game, spy agency is a great way to make up for the difference. So that's a good idea.
Okay, so I can start dropping agents in other people's capitals, steal some research, steal some energy, get that up and running.
Right, because covert agents don't care about the map.
Right.
They get there by whatever means they use.
Clandestine votes and
Clandestine
things.
means.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see what we can do here. I got a missile rover. He's still got some movement.
To your left.
Yeah, the problem,
there,
okay, there's also,
A pod, too.
yeah, there's a pod there too. This here. Fortunate. population can get.
You're at turn 90 or so right now and don't have an affinity level, which means you're going to be behind the military curve. And again, like that's okay if you're playing a culture heavy or an economic game.
Right.
But we don't. It looks
But
like
you're
we
not
can't
doing
really
that,
do
Pete.
that,
You're
so-
really bad at this. Okay, so all right. Well then, let's see what we can do. I'm actually gonna let this guy set up. We'll at least be able to bombard some stuff if it does come to that. He is already set up this turn. This guy is out of the protection of the ultrasonic fence, but he is fortified until he heals. I'd almost rather leave him there. These soldiers are out of move. That missile rover's fired this turn. That soldier cleared the nest. These guys are fortifying up. Could I get them? I can't get them up on the other side to at least provide him the flanking bonus. I might be able to pop them in front of the truck in a turn or two, but that would mean potentially raising the ire of these aliens as well too. Leave them there, let them heal up, move them up. Well, they are healed.
They're healed. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't. I think. I don't know. I didn't get to see the last couple turns. I'm not really sure what the trajectory of those aliens are. If they're trying to field an attack against you or not. If they came out of the fog of war all at once, chances are they're coming after you. But
These
and they
have
are orange, so
Yeah, these have been circulating kind of back in this area. They got pushed back a little bit. Maybe what I'll do is I'll pull these guys back and start moving to protect that worker,
that's a good idea because you've got the aliens.
because they do have an aggressive alien
to
up
the
there.
east,
So maybe what I'll do is those guys there. Hold on, let's check this worker. The mine is 4 turns away. It would be nice to have. It would be worse to lose it. Suspend work on it, at least until next turn when I can stack the soldiers on top of him.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Because the
I mean,
wolf
it's
beetle will move 2, which is a potential murder.
right.
All right, I'll do that. That's at least a safe option. Let him sit for a turn. This guy, I could pull him back to the capital, but I feel like keeping him there.
I think he's positioned pretty well.
Yeah,
Those two, you gotta move out of the way.
yeah. Well, this guy.
That guy's probably gonna die.
What, this guy here?
It may not
Yeah,
be
he's
anything
gonna
to do
die.
with that.
We're gonna raise a nice marker to him somewhere. So let's see who else needs orders this turn. All right, you're already set up. We'll just try him up a little bit, and let's see what happens. Oh, look.
At least he died in battle, and not by miasma.
Yeah, well, miasmic repulsor was in orbit in that area and did clear out the miasma that was on that nest. So at least, no matter what happens, there won't ever be another nest there again.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, it's we're looking at the screen a little farther away. It looked like there was a cloud above that, but it's just Xenomass that he's standing on.
Yeah, it is just the Xenomass. So I don't think I want to move this soldier. We'll just fortify him up again. The aggression level has dropped.
You could put him on the. You could go grab that pod.
Yeah, but I don't want to leave the
Oh yeah.
siege unit unprotected here. And I don't want to aggravate them by clearing out anymore. Give them another turn or two and see what happens. Yeah, I'll just fortify them up. That is a good, pretty solid forward position. And then if I need to retreat, I can pop back 1 tile and be within the range of my own ultrasonic fence. And that way that at least impedes these guys from being able to get right to the to this missile rover, which I feel pretty good about. All right, that's going to fortify until it heals up. Explorer still has his expedition module, so we'll go ahead and we'll have him keep heading out into the wasteland here. Although, I wonder if that settlement went derelict. Because that station was founded some time ago, and it doesn't look like anybody's traded with them. So stations do go derelict if you don't trade with them, correct?
That's right. If you don't interact with them, they'll pack up and go somewhere else.
Does that mean they just go away, or will they respawn at some point in the game?
They go away and are put back into the pool
Okay.
of stations that can spawn when the game decides that there needs to be a new one.
Is there ever a point in the game where the stations stop spawning?
When they run out.
Okay.
So if you're playing on a very large map and you're playing quick, sometimes you can get into a situation where all of the stations that exist in the game will be on the map, and none will spawn until they get destroyed or decide to leave.
Gotcha. All right, we got some choices here. We've got a unit ready for promotion. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give him disciplined.
He's got health, so
Yeah,
strength, so
he's got a little
okay.
bit. The issue is there's at least one alien there. I may just heal up one more turn. A little bit of caution is not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, the pod's not going anywhere.
Yeah, worker's done here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assign him to start working that silica. We can manage the specialists on the next turn. Let's find out what happened to the station. Might be useful to... Yeah, it's cleared out.
And it didn't leave behind a derelict, though, unfortunately.
So that means somebody might have already explored it too.
Yeah, or, I mean, I think that's probabilistic. I don't think they always do that. They have a high chance.
Okay. All right. Virtues. So the idea was to develop the ability to expand fairly quickly. I got a couple of other choices as well too. If we're going to pursue, well, first of all, we are at our 5th virtue. So if I pick another tier 1 virtue, then I do get the synergy bonus of an additional virtue. This potentially could give me survivalism and scavenging as a combo. Of course, now that I've cleared out all the alien nests, this
don't
is
really
going to
need
be
that.
far less of an issue. I could start pushing down prosperity a little bit to try to mitigate some of the unhealth, maybe change directions and go for more of an economic or a soft win, maybe a straight up harmony win. Industry. I don't have enough trade units up and running that I feel like profiteering would be a good grab right now. The extra energy in the capital is always good, and I'm not really in it. Well, National Wonder, this would push up the spy agency a few turns, but maybe having grabbed that earlier would have been better. So given that there's 2 virtue choices at this level, let's take a look. Getting the free settler will put it in my capital, correct?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I mean, you'd have to sit on it. To settle a new city right now would just tank your health.
Well, let's not underestimate my ability to make suboptimal decisions. So, all right, so that's
I mean,
probably
you
not
could do
a
that,
good-
but,
yeah, it's not really a wise choice here. So, what else do we have available in Prosperity 1? Free worker. I probably have enough workers right now that feels like that's not vital. Grab the additional build for tile improvements. Might be handy right now. So I think we want to take at least 1 from this level. Start to unlock. Might. Go
I mean,
with
yeah,
tile
that's a good
improvements.
choice. You've cleared out the immediate alien threat, but if you're going to expand to the northwest there, you may need to
Help?
start down the might tree. Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we'll choose adaptive tactics. And now we do have that bonus virtue that we get to pick. So could go survivalism, which I don't know is critical. Or we could try something different. We could try helping hands. We could try more energy for the capital. I can even go down to investment 1, which would be pretty handy.
Yep.
It's a little bit of a trickle of energy, and let's see what my current energy reserves are at 177. So it's an additional, 1.7 every turn. Right now, that would just mean keeping the energy levels up. Advise me, Will. What should I do?
Well, energy's always good. You can, if you get into trouble and lose a military unit, being able to buy a replacement is always a good thing. Or there are no buildings I would rush right now.
Yeah.
So maybe that's. I don't know. I would probably start rolling down a path that would put me to one of those health virtues. quickly.
Okay. So we'll pick helping hands,
Yeah.
and then next time we've got okay.
And culture is good for you too. You can get that silica resource that's right outside your border.
Yeah, and boosting that on the next couple of turns will be pretty helpful as well too. All right, soldier is stacked on top of the worker, which is good. Let's go ahead and we'll choose this worker. Have him go back to working on his mine. We'll have the soldiers fortify up on top of that. We need to pick a new production project for Santa Adria. There's no copper to work in the city, which is a little unfortunate because I would really like the extra stuff. But is this an instance where the network would probably outrank the trade depot? Curve on science.
Yeah.
I'm going to be working the silica, I know, in the next turn or two, or once the tile improvement is finished. And to get the extra science. in the 20, 21 range.
I mean, speeding up your science is implicitly going to speed up your affinity curve,
Right.
right? And if you have any kind of military aspirations within the next 50 turns,
Then it's probably worth doing that.
yeah.
Okay. Well, then that sounds like wise advice to me. So we'll start work on the network. I guess if I got, what's the satellite later on in the game potentially reveals basic resources. Maybe I could get lucky on that.
Oh yeah, planetary. No, wait, that's a loadout option. I forget
Yeah.
what it's. I forget that satellite's called. But yeah, that would be a good
Ah,
one.
crap.
Oh,
Yeah,
whoops.
they were mad. Well, all right, time to start working on another explorer at some point. All right, so we'll start building this mine. That'll be the extra production in science. That will be good.
What's to your south? What's to the
Um,
south? Okay, that's
just a general coastline. I mean, I could build a ship somewhere and start exploring the coasts.
Yeah.
Might be good. We're pretty close, 3 turns from the spy agency. That might not be a bad choice.
You could embark your A unit, or if you build a new explorer to see what's over there.
Yeah, I'll probably do an explorer in Citadel after this.
'Cause, I mean, that peninsula is pretty far
Add
away
into
from
discoveries.
any of the other civs.
Each
You're,
new
you're one of the
species
closest.
represents an
Might be able
opportunity
to,
for uncontestable
get another
ownership
resource
of
pod,
that
or
life form.
I wouldn't even go over there with the mind to settle. I would just see if there's any goodies,
I wonder what life was like on Earth when the whole atmosphere was breathable.
and then settle.
Yep. All right. So the alien nest respawned. I'm gonna go ahead and clear that out. It does make everybody unhappy.
Oh,
but
they're gonna be so mad at you.
they're already mad at me.
Oh my goodness.
What difference does it make?
So mad.
They already don't love me. 2 turns. Okay, we've got some science we can check out here. We've got ecology, we've got alien biology, we've got computing. Let's see. Don't need to reveal any titanium because I brought the tectonic surveyor, so I already know where that is. No workable petroleum nearby, so no need to jump right into chemistry on that. Biochemistry's got some possibility too, especially since I'm tied up pretty hard up against the water. That might not be a bad one as well. No workable frac site within the area, although the coverage might not be a bad choice to have. Stellar Codex potentially is an interesting choice for the science boost in the Science City. Yay, nay? Start pushing out a little farther, down terraforming or
I
something?
mean, you've also got the option of autonomous systems. That'll give you a supremacy level. Oh, actually, no, you have 1 harmony level. Did we upgrade the unit?
Oh, we haven't upgraded the unit yet.
Okay.
We could do that.
All right.
So, infantry. I really like the plus 15% when attacking, although... do I want to carry that? Yeah, I think that's going to be worth the plus 5 heal is handy, but yeah, I think that's going to be better to take the attacking bonus. All right, so the Marines are upgraded. And we're back to the research question here.
Okay. So, autonomous systems not quite as important.
Although it does give you master control.
It
which
does
is
give you
kinda
master
handy.
control. That's true.
And the node, which I could park out on the periphery and use it as an alien repeller. That might not be bad.
That's still a pretty good option.
It's only the thing is, it's 47 turns away.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like the investment in physics and then ballistics to get Stellar Codex and then get the science ramped up might be the better way to do it. Build Stellar Codex in Santa Adriao. And then that actually wouldn't be a bad choice because Santa Adriao will get the range extension for its orbital units. Cheaper to build them. I can drop a miasma repulsor right here and start clearing that zone for city number 3.
That's a good idea. You don't want to go in there with military until you've cleared it out.
Now yes, that is a wise choice. Let's take a look at where we're working in the city right now. Doesn't look like we've got any tile improvements we're not ready for. I'll probably bring this guy down the coast and drop a farm there starting next turn. But there's a paddock going up there, which is pretty nice to have. Is the paddock finished? The paddock's not done. Oh, should have checked that. All right. Okay, so what happened was that, now I remember. All right, you go back there and do your job. All right, so these guys are wounded and in the miasma. The aliens are a little bit less aggressive. We'll go ahead and move back the Marines off for a moment. And that ends that turn.
Right.
Oh, something exciting just happened.
Yeah. Looks like you got a
Got a wrecked satellite.
satellite there.
Okay. So I need to choose a project because we've just completed the spy agency.
You could choose propaganda and not assign spies anywhere.
That's
an option.
I think at this point I really want to steal up some science. So
Sure.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose operations support. We're going to go ahead and we're going to leave Felicite back at the. We'll leave Felicite at home. Sorry, let me go back into covert ops for a second. Okay, well, let's find out who's in the lead point-wise first. So Barre's up on top, and Fielding's right behind him. I'm not coming up too badly. Okay, who doesn't have... I got a spy agency and nobody else does. That's interesting.
That's good. You don't have to worry about counter spying, so you can put
Good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to send Guy into Magan. Yep. She'll get there in 3 turns. And Catalina is going to go to Central.
Sweet.
All right. Let's go ahead and we'll get that Explorer up and running. This is great because now we'll have an Explorer ready to go when it comes time to check that out. That worker has finished for right now. I could go ahead and have them clear out that miasma down there. That might not be a bad idea. Make it ready for a farm in the next turn or two. Okay. 4 turns till the paddock is done. Na 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 na. Okay, and we'll start clearing the miasma.
Blue.
Adept Blue. Let's find out where Adept Blue is. Oh, Adept Blue is somewhere else. Sorry. We'll look in a little bit. Okay. Explorer's done in Citadella. Let's go ahead and we'll send him on his way. Next, should we queue up another Explorer? It's only 2 turns. Feels like that might be pretty solid. Don't need a Vivarium here because I don't have any desert tiles that I'm particularly concerned about working, and enough farms that the food isn't really an issue right now. Or I could get that gunboat up and running and maybe start checking out some coastline.
You could also build...
Get that trade convoy.
Yeah, get the
back.
trade convoy going to Shackleton. That might be a bad
Yeah.
idea. Because they may pack up and go if you don't...
Well, I've been trading with them.
Oh, you have? Okay.
They should be a little grateful.
You never know.
I,
Ernest Shackleton, you know,
he was kind of a guy,
he's
wasn't he?
kind of a guy. He's going to go up north somewhere.
All right, so that mine is finished for the silica, so we can see that it's now yielding extra production and extra science. This is good. We're now up to 18 science a turn. I feel like that's much better than 12. Can take.
Consider a simple problem, such as navigation in a spaceship approaching light speed.
All right, launch complex and observatory, not critical right now, but again, we were going for that leaf tech more than anything else. Let's start this farm down here. The Marines Marines have healed up. Oh, got a solar collector in Santa Adria. That's
great.
Great, yes, especially since most of the tiles. Okay, let's see where we're working in the city. We've got a nice density. I could put it here, and 4 existing working tiles would already pick it up. So I think that's probably going to be the best spot to drop it right there. Okay, so Santa Adria, we're going to go ahead and pick the solar collector. We're going to plunk it right there.
Nice.
Bang. All right. Spies are in position. We're going to choose operations. We're going to establish networks.
It's a good idea. That'll give you visibility at least. Very, very low risk, and will jack up the intrigue just a little bit.
Yeah, I really want to get that up and running. Oh, sorry, I keep doing that to get out of the orbital.
You know, we got to patch that. I want to be able to press escape and get out of the orbital layer. It was on the list, I swear. We just didn't quite get to it.
Well, that's the good thing about Civ is there's always a little more work to do. It's like owning an old house. There's always one more thing you can patch up.
Yeah.
Oh crap, that was ill-timed. All right, well next turn we'll moving these Marines up and back potentially to start supporting a clearing out the area around Shackleton. I think that'll help out. I should have just timed that a little bit better. Okay, my turn again. We'll switch these guys. He's ready to start work on his expedition. Go ahead and I'm going to. These guys go all the way up to that hill. I'm going to bring the siege units back as well. Okay, got a trade convoy. I'm really reluctant to have them start and get them pillaged right away. So maybe what I'll do is I'll moving up, don't see anything. Go ahead and send this guy to... Oh, is Shackleton not there anymore? Oh no, that was Change Origin City, sorry. If I get some time, I might potentially, yeah. All right, so we've got choices. Santa Adria's over here. Maybe queue up this trade depot now. Let's see, who are my potential nearby trading partners? Freeland is quite a bit away, and they might actually be landlocked. That would kind of suck. Mandira's still a bit away, although maybe might be within range. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to build that naval unit here and choose the gunboat for this city right here, and let them start to get back. Maybe scout out a little bit and figure out what's going on. All right, and now we're going to build that next explorer and send him down to the southern continent to take a look at what's going on in that neck of the woods. Okay, at this point, I think we've built most of the tile improvements that we need within this. I could buy my way out to the silica there, but that would mean reassigning somebody off another plot to work, which may not be the end of the world. Yeah, in fact, I could take them off that hill tile and push them out to there. So let's see. Buying this plot of land is 130 credits. That'll give me, it's a big chunk of cash.
It's pretty expensive.
So
Your border isn't going to grow for a while, so it may be your only option for a little bit.
So the question is, 130 energy to buy you how much science? So then we're looking at 6 turns before it would be up and running, and then a yield of 2 science per turn after that. Feels a little bit...
It's kind of steep.
Yeah, feels steep. All right, so we'll wait on that. Can mothball this. Oh no, I've got this paddock that I can build over here. That would be good. All right, let's get these. Dang it! I've had it with this. Well, at least this way they'll shoot the Marines instead of unless they don't. I'll bet that's what's gonna happen. All right, so we're gonna see what happens here. It's gonna drive right into him, isn't he? I feel very silly.
Yep, he did.
Well, that was. Oh! Hello, boys. All right, well. Let's see. Establish trade route. You need to go back to Santa Adria for the bonuses there. All right, so here's what we need to do. We need to bring you there. Oh, these guys are so slow. Why must you be so slow? All right, and we're going to send this explorer. Take him a few turns to get there. Hopefully nobody shows up in the meantime.
Not with your luck.
No, that's going to be bad. All right, Citadella, you need to build something as well. I could build any number of things. I almost feel like building more Marines right now.
Just out of spite.
Just out of spite, just to help out. Missile rover, maybe not. I could build a Ranger. Potentially help out on that front as well too. It's a little cheaper. I'm pretty sure these guys will be able to hold their own against wolf beetles at this point, backed up as they are.
They're sort of in a choke point there, so you can.
So, trade convoy?
Let's try again.
Let's try it again. Interesting. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to clear out those wolf beetles next turn. All right, so this guy's going to go ahead and start constructing his paddock. Let's go ahead and we'll bring these Marines up. Missile rover's not going to be able to, it's going to take him, ready to go. They're ready for their promotion. We're going to go ahead and give them discipline. Get off my lawn. All right. So what I can do here is I can actually move this missile unit here. It would be better if that weren't miasma, clearly, because that would be a much easier choke point to hold because then I could be backed up by my own missile rover. Doesn't look like anybody's going to come screaming over the back of Shackleton, which feels pretty good, but I'll go ahead and fortify these guys up, and let's see what happens. Yeah, and they're going to scuttle off. That's the nice advantage of... oh, good! Established network.
Nice.
Successful and undetected. Outstanding. So, let's see. We're in Magan over here. He's working on a launch complex. He's currently researching computing. So he may be aiming to start up his own program, his own spy program as well, too. So I don't really feel like reassigning right now, but I could siphon some energy. We're not... Okay, that's what I'm going to choose to do. Let's see what Central's doing here. They're on alien sciences and building an auto plant. They are pretty far out on the technology curve. Science yield of 28.
Wow. Their health is not... It's about to... If they expand anymore, they're going to be in the same boat you are.
For them.
That'll put a dampener on their science. But
Well, that's good, because then that will hopefully make Catalina a little more effective in the city. And then if I need to withdraw the agent out of Magan, I can do that as well, too.
Yep.
All right. Let me check quest log real quick. I don't think there's anything persisting from previous turns. Oh, I've got my Explorer working on the wreckage. I should, in fact, check on that real quick. See what the status of that is. Should be about, 5 more turns till he's done. And that'll work on the solid state citizen quest. All right, I'm going to go ahead and withdraw these guys a bit, have them fortify up. I'm going to go ahead and keep this battle line intact. Leave these missile rovers in place because I really do want to get that trade network up and running. I should have built a road. Actually, no, a road would never pay for itself out of here. Okay, trade convoy's ready to go. Now you can go to, I keep hitting the wrong one. Now you can go to Shackleton. Are you sure? You really sure?
So what happened to the last guy?
Yeah, exactly. Are you aware of the history of this? All right, and now we're ready for a new project. So I'm at +6 energy per turn, but oof, -7. Let's see. I'm growing pretty hard. What would happen? Can change the yields around a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. It'd be nice to get some more culture up, but I don't really have culture buildings in the range so far. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to queue a network anyway, even though I built it in the wrong order. Should have built it in Citadella first and then Santa Adriel, but really think I need to get that science up and running more than anything else. Worker is all right for right now. There are no tiles I think I want to push out to immediately. I can't work that floatstone anyway. I could. I wonder how much it would cost to buy the miasma tile. And then if I got any alien nests that recurred on it, I'm willing to pay 65. To potentially have an alien. So now that I own this tile, and it does have miasma on it, and it does have xenomass, will it potentially respawn an alien nest?
Yes.
And when it does that, then any aliens that spawn out of that nest are friendly to me.
No. It's a little bit more fuzzy than that.
Okay.
If they spawn there, if you allow them to have a nest in your territory, their opinion of you will increase faster.
Okay.
So it is beneficial. It's just it's a tightrope to walk because you're kind of inviting them to spawn aliens near you.
Okay.
But you have the fence, the ultrasonic fence. You just need to hold that line there with your trade route, and it should be okay.
Okay.
And you can always destroy it later,
Yeah, I guess so.
or you can improve it.
Yeah. All right, so that guy, we're going to go ahead and sleep him out for a little while because he's just finished his...
That would make a really awesome improvement or building.
What? Something on xenomass and miasma?
Something that
like
you
a
could
friendly
build.
alien nest?
Yeah, that alien nests would be friendly, or that the aliens generated by nests in your territory would be friendly.
Somebody should mod that in.
Somebody should mod that in. That sounds pretty cool.
It's probably not worth pulling a marine back. Actually, maybe it might be worth pulling these guys back in a little bit. No, that's just outside of the... Oh no, that is in the fence. Interesting. I could have let that nest stay because it is within the range of the extended ultrasonic fence.
So it's not going to make any difference. No, it's $60. 60 space bucks.
60 space bucks. I need to remember those things. I'm going to go ahead and fortify up there, and I'm going to go ahead and move these guys down on that side of the pass. Well, the good part is that the aliens don't seem too cheesed off anymore. They seem to be a little bit
Yeah, their aggression's
calmed.
dropping off. That's
calmed
good.
down pretty fast. All right, quests updated. Specialists are hoping to unlock the secrets of the ecosystem. The alien creatures require material to kill 10 alien units. Why couldn't you guys have done this earlier? So we'll potentially talk about that later on. All right. Explorers down here on the new continent. Go ahead and keep rolling out a little bit. Okay, I've got a gunboat ready to go. Go ahead and slick some. Oh, for Pete's sake! I need to remember to stop double moving into Fog of War. Queue up another gunboat?
You'll probably lose that one.
I feel like there's not a lot of trading partners on this side of the world, but it's really not worth expanding out to try to get out there yet. Bit of a rough go.
Yeah.
Although, building a city out here potentially in the future. Oh, that's desert. That's not it. That's a terrible place to grow a city. So trade depot is probably not an option. We're 4 turns out from ballistics. So this is definitely where we want to start building stellar codex. I am going to queue up another gunboat. This Marine is still headed back. We're going to go ahead and bring him back within the territory itself. Next turn, we'll start having him heal up. Put these guys on fortify. Oh, did I not get attacked?
It appears not.
That's amazing.
Get out of there,
Let's
Pete.
just go by. It needs orders. You heal up. All right. Not a lot going on. Wow. 3 fraxite, 3 fraxite there. There's the copper.
Yep.
This is the launch. This is the science city down here. Drop the network there. You got the frac site for the science bonus. Oof, I will need to go down there at some point. Probably. And so it goes. Yeah, that was really, really great. I didn't do anything to them. I got out of the way. It's not fair.
Boy, no kidding. Look at that. 2 coppers, 2 frac sites.
Yeah. Oh my
3
gosh, 3
coppers.
coppers? Ooh,
All the coppers.
all the coppers. But this is all plains too, so even the food yield is decent, if nothing else. Oh, and that's a river tile too. Actually, food would be a problem here. You'd almost need like 2 cities. You'd need a coastal city, and then to trade food and production into your science city here. Okay. Which expedition was that? We're gonna have to go back and take. Oh, that was
Probably
back here,
Solid
State
State.
Explorer. Yeah. All right, so he's done. Let's get him to Santa Adriel and resupply. Quest decision. So, survivors on the spacecraft. Human race, but now they are something different. We call them the Augmented. They settled a new planet, but where our world sustains life, theirs was harsh and violent. So these guys are like proto-supremacists, right? I mean, the idea
Yeah,
is-
that's the idea. They're augmented in a way that you haven't seen before, and you're being asked to either sort of reject that or to give them a place to stay in your own city.
So going a harmony route, that would seem to say let them settle on their own.
Right.
Grant them refuge is kind of the purity and supremacy choice.
Yeah.
But kind of bringing them in at this point feels like there might be some advantage to that. It's almost not like we need a trading partner per se, but maybe
Right, and I think considering like, and this may be inside baseball, but considering the position of you and like guessing where the station would drop,
Yeah.
it may not drop in a position that'd be advantageous. I think it would be close to you, but it might not be somewhere you could get. It probably would go up in that miasma land up there.
Oh, and I kind of want that for myself later on. So we'll go ahead and we will grant them the refuge.
Sure.
We're going to need to wrap up in a couple of turns here. We're coming up to the top of the hour. So, found 1 outpost. All right. Well, we do want to expand at some point. Geez, where to go with this guy? This is pretty choky ground down here. Let's go ahead and go out this way. Oh, there's chitin up there. That's good. Let's potentially use that next virtue to pop the free colony. Although, still taking a pretty big hit from ballistics.
Oppression, chaos, and death may come from the barrel of a gun, but so occasionally does victory.
All right, time to get cranking on the Stellar Codex here. First of all, let's get our Explorer up, going a little bit more. A lot of geothermal down this deck. Oh, that's only a single geothermal. Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
man.
Ooh, there's like 2 cities, but there's like 2 cities here, right? Like one on the coast,
Yep.
or near the coast, and that blows out and eventually picks up the algae. It picks up the geothermal, it picks up the chitin, and then the deeper city back here somewhere that gets all of the copper, all of the ferraxite later on. Oof. But
Your
going out.
spaceport back there.
Yeah. All right, time for a new research project. Let's go ahead and we are going to wrap up this turn and then going to call it a day here. Robotics feels like a bit of a push. Maybe alien sciences, maybe start to tap into getting some of those Xenamass wells up and running, especially because they do upgrade pretty well later on, bring the city up. Maybe target alien adaptation. That would be 29 turns away. That's or 20. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's the direction we're going to go. That'll at least give me Xenoswarm. That way, because we haven't heard from the Slavic Federation, but I bet the next time I send an explorer down that neck of the woods, there's going to be some growth patterns out that way.
I'd
We'll
imagine.
need to monitor that. Might be worth getting another explorer up and running and checking out that neck of the woods again. It's a lot of explorers going, but
You could potentially do it with a spy too. If they settle close enough, you may be able to see it if you establish a network.
that would be true.
Or yeah, or at least you can also, if the spy is, I think, level 2, you
Yeah.
can see their trade networks as well.
That might be a
That's
good
another
way
way
do it.
to figure it out.
Well, it might pull the spy out of Magan after the next operation, although then they might be in a position to be. Well, we'll reevaluate. Those spy projects are still 13 turns away from completion, so still got some time on that. Citadel does need a research project. I actually am going to queue up an explorer for there because I want to keep an eye on that neck of the woods. This explorer should still be going to San Adriel to get the module back. And then we'll send them up to explore that derelict settlement. Trade routes still continuing unmolested. No more aliens here. He's not going to push up onto that. That should be pretty solid for right now. We're going to hit next turn, and then we're going to be done for the day. So let's see if anything untoward happens.
Looks good.
All right, so covert ops are still underway. At least got them up and running this time around. We'll be able to pick up some energy on the next few turns. Let's go ahead and save out our game for today. Turn 112. And next time we'll pick it up where we left off. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the live stream today. I'd like to thank you, Will, for coming on and helping me out a little bit and for talking about the intro cinematic, which is out now.
My pleasure.
Now, if you guys have questions for Will or Dave, we have a cool opportunity coming up on October 21st from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be doing an AMA on Reddit Civ Beyond Earth. So that's /r/Civ Beyond Earth, all one string. Will and Dave will be in answering questions if you guys have them. It's a cool community. They're doing some neat stuff there. So I hope you'll be able to join us for that. We are 8 days away from launch, which is kind of amazing at this point. So I was hoping we'd be able to get through this live stream, this Let's Play by the time the game launched. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. We're going to have news and updates about the live streaming for the week of release. We are really, really excited. I hope you guys are as well too. It's just a matter of time now before it gets in your hands. So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, and I hope you guys have a great day.
Thanks a lot.